I'm Jade from The Hungry Vegan. Yesterday was my 1-year anniversary of becoming a vegan. So I want to talk to you today about that. Firstly, I want to say in my whole life, it's probably the greatest thing I have ever done for my body, my mind and my soul. I feel healthier than I've ever felt, and I have had bouts of feeling very healthy without being a vegan, but I feel clean. It's such a clean feeling. I don't ever feel clogged up or anything like that. So that's one of the greatest things. I sleep at night. I don't, when I see things go through your posts and whatever on social media, I don't cringe and pretend I don't see it. I can sleep very well knowing that at least now I'm not contributing to that. So it's one. I can't believe how good a feeling it is. And initially, when I started out, it was a 12-week thing. I really didn't get. I didn't get it, but now I get it. Veganism's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. It's a choice. It's the way you live your life from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Now, some of the things that I've learned along the way in the last 12 months is not everybody is going to be happy with you becoming a vegan. Some people didn't care. Some people thought I was a bit cuckoo. People thought I was extreme. You're so extreme. People want to explain to you for no reason at all that it's okay. In the Bible it says to eat meat, or what are we supposed to eat? Of course, that's what these animals are here for. They'll tell you all these things, and it's funny, you never hear these kind of things ever when you're an omnivore. They're things that are never discussed, but all of a sudden you become a vegan and everyone goes to the defence. It's like, hang on, I didn't even ask you about you. You just found out about me and wanted to start preaching at me. My mother was probably one of the most unhappiest. She ended up having my daughter in tears because she just kept going on, oh, it's just a phase, it's just stupid, why can't you eat the way you're brought up, and all these different things. I actually had a joke about that because my mum's never really been a cook, and I posted some pictures on social media, which hopefully if I can find them I'll put into the video about the kind of foods that we actually used to eat. So it's not really wanting to eat the way we were brought up. I haven't eaten that way since I moved out of home. So, but yeah, she just didn't get it, does not get it. It's even because I'm not a drinker. We were going out for dinner and she said, oh, telling my workmates they don't drink, they don't eat meat. You know, it's like, well, what's wrong with that? You know, but it's one of those things. Some people will think it's a joke and they will say really insensitive, stupid things. What you've got to understand is when people are saying, bacon and, you know, just stupid things like that to you, they aren't thinking like you. They don't get it. You know, people have been brought up eating meat their whole lives. At first, when you become a vegan, for me, I wanted to shout to the world, this is what's happening. We all have to change and do this. And hence why people start thinking it's a little bit crazy, but you want to tell people. But I probably, for me and the audience that I had on social media, probably didn't go about it quite the right way. I had a lot of people unfollow me. I was putting gruesome pictures of animals up there on Facebook, and because for me, I kept seeing those bits of images and it's subconsciously they were in my mind, and I'm thinking if I just show everyone, they're all going to change. But it didn't work like that, because people, if they don't want to see, will still be blind. You know, it doesn't matter what you put in their face. If people don't want to see, they will not open their eyes. So I went about it a different way. I thought, well, this isn't working, and I'm feeling really crazy, like to the point of craziness. I wouldn't even, if somebody had a little bit of milk in their coffee, if we're at a coffee shop or something, I was like, no, I'm not going out with those people. I was alienating myself from everybody. I was saying, no, I don't want to be associated with those kind of people. And that was wrong on my part. We're all human beings, and so for me, that was one of the things I had to do, was learn to deal with my own feelings that was going on in my own mind, and realise that everyone else wasn't going through what I was going through, and the only person that I needed to concentrate on changing was me. And through changing me for the positive, it can sometimes be a domino effect. I know through me changing over now, I've had about 5 or 6 people change over that are close to me, and some that may not have given up absolutely everything, but they are making changes. And I think it's because I tried it with a new approach. I said, hey, this isn't working. So it was just by posting my food. I really started to focus on my food. I thought, well, what can I do to make a difference? And for me, I've always loved cooking. Food's always been a huge part of my life. I thought, well, I'm going to start posting my food. I'm going to start sharing my food with people and start showing them, hey, you don't just have to eat lettuce. There are some really tasty, delicious foods out there. Because I think that's a main thing for people, if they are thinking about changing over, is the food. I mean, let's be honest, food is a problem for people. So that for me became a thing. I said, right, that's how I'll be my voice. I will show people how they can eat. I also, on my personal Facebook page, instead of putting gruesome pictures up there that people don't want to see, look, I don't want to see them. I myself personally don't follow any Facebook pages or Instagram pages or anything with gruesome pictures of dead animals on there, because I know what's going on. I don't want to see it. It breaks my heart. I don't like it. It makes me feel sick to the stomach. I don't want to see it. I know. So I thought, okay, let's not do this. So I'll post little pictures of pigs quite often, or baby cows, or, you know, I will put information up about what goes on in the dairy industry, or what may go on in the egg industry, or what does go on in the meat industry. I do put information out there on animal cruelty, but I do it very subtly, and I find I tend to get more reactions that way. So that's the way I decided to do it. Look, everybody's different, and I think definitely we need those activists out there, because if they are posting those gruesome pictures and stuff like that, it's not going to get out there. People aren't going to see it. But I think you've really got to know your audience. Know who is going to get the right reaction out of that, because you've got to remember your reaction and my reaction aren't going to be the same as this person's reaction, nor the person over there's reaction. We're all different. So it's really looking at different things. A friend of mine, she decided to change over to becoming a vegan, and it wasn't any pictures that had been posted. It wasn't until all the information started coming out about the mistreatment of the greyhounds. And for her, she just said, that's it, enough. I don't want to be a part of any animal cruelty anymore. So we never know what's going to be that little switch in somewhere. But we can plant little seeds, but we don't, for me, I don't feel I have to be pounding in somebody's face. That was a huge turning point for me, and it was for me when I started to realise that I think I really started to embrace my veganism more. I started to say, hey, this is me being able to make a difference. I didn't feel I was finding a way to make a difference prior to that. So find your way to make a difference. And by all means, if you want to go on protests or sign petitions, send petitions out and whatever, do what you need to do for you. It's your journey, just as this is mine. Another thing that I've had to do along the way is really accept that everybody's not going to think along my lines, and that was a really hard thing to do because we want everyone to be on the same page, but it just doesn't happen about that. But I'm grateful that my family living under my roof, we all, my daughter and my partner, we all did it together. So that was awesome. And that's fantastic. So another thing I think is really important when you are deciding to become a vegan and changing over is to educate yourself. And I mean educate yourself, read. I've bought so many books, but you don't have to buy books. You go down to your local library. If they don't have the book in, they will purchase it and order it in so you can borrow it. So there's a chance to read any book that you can find. Just Google vegan books, and there are so many out there. There's easier ones for people to understand, and then of course, you know, there's some more extensive, harder books as well. And then you've got the different ranges where people are when you go into the health side of veganism too, because some people become a vegan for purely the animals, and that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a healthy vegan. There's unhealthy vegans, there's junk food vegans, there's then of course there's the really healthy vegans. So you know, it's like normal life. There's all sorts of people. So find the books that suit you. Follow the people that suit you. I've really found the people that I follow the most are the people that inspire me, the people that are interested in their health as well, because I've always been interested in health. So for me, I've always been looking for people that can educate me further into the way that I can become the healthiest person and to do it ethically. I think also it's really important, don't be ashamed of being vegan. I see people go, oh, I am, but I don't want to tell anyone. So, and you'll say, well, what do you do when you go out? Oh, I just probably won't eat, or I won't make a thing about it. Oh, I don't want people to know. Look, you don't have to, when you go out, go, hey, everybody, this is me. But don't be ashamed of who you are. Be who you are. Don't be afraid. You know, that's who you are, and you've chosen to do that for a reason. Don't sit back. If I'm at a restaurant, I'll ask straight away, excuse me, what vegan meals do you have? None. But I generally, before I go out, I will find out. But if we go somewhere spontaneously, if I can't get something, I'm not embarrassed to say, look, can you take this out? Can you take that out? That. And give me a bowl of cabbage. I'm laughing because that actually did happen to me. But I'm not embarrassed of who I am. Be proud. And go online. There are so many people out there. Now, understand that just because, and there are forums out there, be aware on some of the forums that not everyone's the same. It's like all forums. It doesn't matter if they're vegan, if they're a meat eating forum, a gym forum, a weight loss forum, or whatever forum that you've been on. There are nasty people on all forums. There are trolls on all forums. So don't think just because you're joining these vegan forums that everyone's going to be, oh, hi, I'm all happy. No, I've seen, there's a lot of judgmental people out there, and you will see that. So the forums are fantastic, and you can learn a lot from these people, but just be aware that you will find some nasty people on these forums. And I don't like saying that, but I just want to make people aware, if you are going to be looking at these different forums, that there can be some very judgmental people, and everything has to be this way, and oh no, if you don't do it that way, and you know. My opinion on when you become a vegan is it's not about everybody else, it's your journey and your path, and there's no right or wrong way to do it. You're trying to make a difference for the animals. Educate yourself not just on food, because food is an issue, and you've got to understand that there's so many different names for different animal products in processed food. I'm lucky I don't eat processed food, so I have never really had to have too much of a battle here. But if you are a person who eats processed foods, there are plenty of apps out there that you can download. Is it vegan? Scan your food, scan your makeup, scan your products, your deodorants, or whatever you use, scan them to see if they are vegan, because believe me, not everything is vegan. Most importantly, always remember, don't be afraid to be a voice for those who can't speak. I think that's really important for anybody to remember, is don't be afraid to be a voice. That's the most important part. And for me, one of the greatest things has been that I have really found so much more out about myself than I ever knew. I never realised that I was as compassionate a person as I am. I find myself getting compassionate over everything. I find myself on a cause over everything. But it's been a real journey, and it's only going to get better. I've taught myself to make some beautiful food. I have met some wonderful people through social media and live, you know, at different vegan events and things like that. I've met some wonderful people. So there's some great people out there, and I can't wait for the next 12 months and see where that brings me. Please follow me on Instagram if you're interested in my food, The Hungry Vegan, _vegan. I post my recipes on there all the time. I'm also on Facebook, The Hungry Vegan, so follow me on there. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back soon.